Hello, here we are back again, another live stream. Oh, I see the webcam is not okay here. Okay, let's move it around a little bit so you can see me. And I hope everybody is fine. And yeah, this is a nice pad, ambient pad from Blue 3. And going a hard modulation to C minor. So yeah, today we have a new update released. You can download it. So if you have Blue 3, excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. We have then uploaded it. If you have Blue 3, you can go to the download page of Blue 3. If you have Explorer 8, scroll down a little bit in the download page of Explorer 8 and download the single installer of Blue 3 and run that on your computer. Of course, close your music program ahead of running the installer, and then you have the updates. So what we did in this small update is fixing a few bugs. There's one bug which even made Blue 3 crash, but we found out what caused it, and it's fixed. And I could do some more presets. So also in the homepage, if you look, so let's go to the homepage. Let me see if I can show you this in a good way. 1 second. I need to go up here in the browser. Let me see if I can show you. Without showing a serial number. That's of course not so wise. My products. That's hard. No, I will not succeed with that one. That will be not wise to do. And I still need to register my own Explorer 8. But so in the download page of Explorer 8, if you scroll down, you have all these single downloads. Download the Blue 3 installer, close your music program, run the installer, and then you have this update, which has some fixes. As mentioned last week, I was not happy about some pages. The sample page improved. So if I go to the sample page, this is still the same, although the buttons here are a little bit clearer. So for the sample up, down, so that improved. Then the edit layer page also did get here some panel lines so that you see a little bit better what layer 1 until layer 6 is. So these are little things, but of course I also add some presets. So in the Pad 4, you will find some new one. So if you click on order by date, of course, Pad 4 is everything new from the release. You have CS plus Selena pad, which is a nice, it's a hint to a CS80 together with a Selena stacked. Then we have the light fair pad. Indeed, a very light pad. And this one is also nice, emulator and GP pad. This reminded me on the old emulator sampler and together with the Jupiter 8 combined. So this uses one of the choir sounds and then essentially the Jupiter style of pad sound. So just playing a few of the new presets, only not that many. There will be far more in the near future. Jamal's also creating some new ones. There is also a bank from Tonal Axis with a few presets, but they are not yet in the current version. And this is also a new one, Ambient Ice Melt Pad. So about this sound, I thought, yeah, well, it sounds like you have an ambient session on the North Pole, very cold, of course, and then the ice starts melting because the music you're playing in the North Pole is nice. What a silly remark, by the way. As you can hear, it's superb for great pad sound. So these are a few new ones. Air Dancer pad, I think that one was already inside of it. Some people ask, where are the new presets? Well, I put that in the info section from Blue 3, from the download, that you can find the new presets. For instance, in pad 3, if you go then order by date, you see the new ones pop up from the top. Of course, once you are having beyond the new ones, I think it goes until, I think, Synquire 8, or I think it's over 50 new ones. I think it ends here with the diamond strings. This 53. So in total, 53 new presets in pads 03. And got some nice. Hey, how come that one here? Spot PVC bass. Oh, that's weird. I'm in pad 3. That's funny. Is this a bug? That well could be. Okay. Oh, something we need to fix then again. But of course, yeah, that's with new software. Sometimes you fix one thing and another thing pops up. But these are not big issues in general. So in pads 04 and 03 are new pads. Then I created some new sequence sounds. And the sequence bank is now full. The bank 1 is full. Although each bank can have more than 128 presets, which is not a problem. But to have a little bit of overview, I keep 128, and then you also could use program change if you like to use that. But for instance, in the introduction bank, you can see that we have already far more presets. So here then the arrow appears, and you see we have there 135 in total. So it's pretty much visual. So in the sequence sounds, so that's an old one. So that one uses the wave sequencing. And here's ratcheting. And here you see the ratcheting is on this set here. So this is one of the new wave sequencing. And somebody asked me on the normal email if there would be also poly mode. So now currently you have to play mode mono. So I need to have a beat to. Okay, let's see. I have a little beat below it. And I play now legato, then I can play legato, then it keeps on playing the sequencer. reset in the note if you play a new note. And mono simply okay, that's a wrong one. But the what we're looking into in the future is making the excuse me, the wave sequence also polyphonic. That will be interesting, but that's a pretty much hard work for coding. Then we have this one. So it's a nice sequence sound. It's a nice sequence. And of course you can use the XY. Slow one. This one has the sequence. You can also have half speed. So that's a few of the new sequence preset. Phase 2 string sequence. I'm not sure if that is a new one. Yeah, it uses the string. That could be this also one could be in the release version. I'm not sure about this one. And here you see you have in the sequence you have the normal view where you have step on, slide, tuning, the length even of each step, velocity value, and then three rows you can do. You can put on the ratcheting, and you have the wave view. And then you see here in oscillator 1 that it changes, excuse me, the wave, a different waveform. So on step number 7, it does the Vox click. So let's have that with a beat. Then you hear how nice it is as something special in your music. So that's one of the new basic, and of course you need to make far more. A nice one. And of course you have different ways where you can select, so each tab has its own waveform, and that means per oscillator. So even you could have 6 oscillators each playing on a different step, a different waveform. Of course it would be a little bit over the top because then it's maybe not musical anymore, but you can, or here you can click and pick one of the waveforms by simply picking them from the list. So it could be a modeled waveform, analog modeled waveform. It could be a spectrum waveform. It could even string model, or one of the many samples you can use. So that's by using the menu. Or you can say, okay, I'm now in the range of 500 and can use plus and minus. So we did the same with this, essentially with Subboom Bass 2. So maybe you recognize it. And of course, it has this pop-up screen, what you see. And down here, it also does display it again, so but also as a pop-up screen. So the wave sequence is a very sophisticated thing, and what we will look into making it polyphonic in the future. So that's very interesting. For the sequence sound, so let me see. I'm not sure how many new ones are compared to the release version. So what I can do here is I go to the folder and I look at the date. So sequence sound, date modified. Okay, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, far more than I thought. Wave sequences tube me. So in total, 1, 2, 11 new ones. So not sure if this one is. No, that one was before. Maybe this is a new one. I use the modulation wheel to change the sound. Cool, isn't it? Wave sequentos. So these are new ones in the sequencer. The sequencer bank 1 is particularly full. Let me see, maybe in the tempo bass are new ones. I'm not sure about that one. No. Well, this is what happens here. This one re-triggers the envelope. So if I go here, you click on this icon, envelope 2 opens, and you see down here, re-trigger. And the re-triggering, if you look on the upper part, is 1/4. So it's a quarter note, and it re-triggers this 33 times. So this is essentially CD play mode is polyphonic, but just uses the envelopes, which are then, and even could make a tempo sync for the attack, decay, sustain. So this is a really heavily a feature, sound which uses really the cool re-trigger feature. So if I play the frame drum solo, by the way, which you can do if you use the right mouse button, and you can play here, if it's correct, solo oscillator, and then of course unsolo oscillator. So in the right mouse, you can see there are some additional features. So this is what we call tempo bass, which are essentially not arpeggiator things, and yeah, more tempo bass in terms of the envelopes, making rhythm with that. And that one we had before. Okay, so there we have some new ones. Synth leads, I think that one also I had one extra, which was Stevie lead and blow. So it was a little bitty. With the a bit like a I added the blow to it. So there was a preset already, Stevie lead, which is this one. So here. A bit like a reed sound, but this was with the blow. The blow is this here. So this is FM with the human blow combined. Okay, so looking in the chat room, there's a question about Blue 3. Yeah, you have different sizes in Predator and Blue 3. Blue 3, you go to the upper section here. Then you see we have 100%, 125%, 150, and 200. Same in Predator 3. So if it's maybe you set a too big screen, what is the resolution of your Mac? Because I have a 10-year-old Mac which has 900 pixels height, and Predator 3 still fits. So that's a 10 years old one. So maybe you have accident or picked a different size version. So set it back to 100% in the control menu. You also will find it in the Predator. Let me see if I can open Predator for you. This one uses, yeah, we have 100%, 120%, and 33%. We might add some changes, maybe also make 150%. 100% is the minimal size. Otherwise, I think it would be hard to read the synthesizer because it had so many features. So this, so look in the control menu in the upper part, and then set it to 100%. Reload your song, and then it should be smaller. Okay. Yeah, Avicii. Yeah, well, yeah, heard that. He also used, I think, Predator, but also, yeah, Bluetooth was also used by, he was last not so positive in the news. How's this guy again called? Okay, it doesn't pop in my mind. But yeah, you see this version of Blue? I use here the 150% version, which is very nice on this screen. This is a wide screen. For music production, I really can advise everybody a wide screen. If you have the option to buy a wide screen, which is 3,300 versus 1,400 something. Okay. There we'll see some other questions. Maintenance, installation, and updates. Yeah, well, the point is we have, of course, less programmer on board in our little company than big companies like Native Instruments. So we are on some parts we are limited, but still there are some good solutions for it. So if you look here in Blue 3, you can click here, check for updates in the control menu, and it will say now you have the latest version, which is version A. So that's all fine. And if you think, okay, I should then you can go here, go to the Raw Papen website, and you can go to the My Products, open the download page, and download the product. The same goes for Explorer 8. In the Explorer 8 download page, you can scroll down, and there we have all the single products which are in Explorer 8 on alphabetical order. And for instance, today, if you are already installed Explorer 8, you can go to the download page of Explorer 8 and download the single installer of Blue 3 to update only Blue 3. Yeah, they have, as Native Instruments, they have a native access, they call it, a kind of extra program. Yeah, currently we don't have the programmers for creating these things. So it's a little bit more basic in our our line of setup for these things, but it's workable. I think it's not that bad, and of course the main focus is on products currently. But you never know. What's update are planned in Explorer 8? Yeah, we Explorer 8 has, of course, Explorer 8 is having Blue 3, RefSane, and early next year it will have a BIT version 2.0 and a new FX. Okay, I'll have some questions here. Sorry for asking a lot, but I did buy Bluetooth 1 month ago. How much is the update? Well, check our homepage. Go to rawpapen.com, click on the image you see on the front page, and then it explains that if you purchased 1 month ago, you have a free upgrade. So we did. We mentioned it in the newsletter. We mentioned it on the homepage. And if you did purchase Blue 2 on our own homepage, we did email the Blue 3 upgrade already to people. But sometimes it drops in their spam box, especially if they use this wacky Hotmail or Yahoo. Then very often our emails land in the spam box. So if you purchase at a reseller, send us a email to info@robpapen.com. Attach your receipt from the reseller, and then we handle you a free upgrade to Blue 3. So once yeah, it's I understand this the fact about the updates. I'm not sure how we can do this in the future. I mean, then. But I mean, it's a slow progress in our company. We don't have any big investment company behind us that helps us with all these kind of things. We are a small company, so it's yeah. These are things which are a disadvantage if you're using software from a small software company. Yeah, Thomas, please look at the homepage. We mentioned it there. Go to the homepage for papen.com. On front, you see a picture. You click on that, and then you go to a page where you see what you can do about the upgrades. No, we don't have a checkup because then you need to far more. People will. The point is, if you have an auto checkup, people will get irritated. So we have it here as a check for updates, so people can do it themselves. If it will be update pop up, some people would be irritated by it. There's always a downside on it. Okay, some question about Blade 2. The terms, can you explain what are the harmonic fractions? Yeah, these are essentially harmonic sounds. If you go to Blade 2 and I go to a default set, default introduction bank, I go to a default preset, where are you? Oh, introduction bank doesn't have a default. Should have. Oh, here it is. Ooh, ugly. Okay, so the timbres, here they are. Timbre 1. And let me see, I think that you mean the harmonic fraction. These are the user waves? No. Let me see where because we have them here. Or is it in the additive? That also could be. Okay, here we have them. Harmonic fractions, 1. Now this is harm 2, the second. So essentially these are 4 harmonics, which here you see the harmonics appearing. You can have here the waveform display or the harmonics. You see here the amp, the volume, or the tuning of them. Oh, let me see if I have another. All sinus waveform. So this is the volume. Yeah, essentially harmonics are doubles of frequency. So if you have the basic frequency, if I pull that down, you have this one. This is the base, is the fundamental, is a pure sinus waveform. So if you look here in the waveform, yeah, it's very. I need to play higher. Oh, I need to play much higher. Yeah, that's a sinus waveform. And the second one, the second harmonic, is twice this frequency, but still a sinus waveform. And the third one is 3 times this frequency, okay, here. And then you have the fourth one, 4 times the frequency. Well, if you play them individually, you hear the individual frequency. But if you start combining them, it becomes a sound color. So essentially, if you would have done this here, which looks like a saw, it starts sounding like a saw wave. Of course, the saw wave has far more harmonics than what you hear now, but that's what you have then also in preset saw. And you see it has a little bit less harmonics than the analog modeled ones. But here, and then you also can see, because this is a saw, harmonics of the saw. Let's see, can it show it here? And if you take the square, it doesn't have the, it only has the doesn't have the even ones. So that's essentially, that's how a waveform is built up by the harmonics. In Blade 2, this is a little bit smaller compared to, for instance, inside Predator 3, where you also have these additive waves. Let me see here. Let me close this one. Okay, I go to the manager. I go to the default presets. Let me see. Oh, I bet this should go to examples. In examples, user wave big. Here it is. In examples, I have a preset called user waves big. This is essentially the same system. You go to the user waves, and oscillator 1 is only playing user wave 1. So here you see how the waveform looks like. You can change it here, like this. Or you can have the partials, which are the harmonics, essentially. And see, if you have a saw wave, it looks like this, and the square misses the even harmonics. So if you have a saw waveform and you would remove the even harmonics, you get a square. So saw with all the harmonics, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And square, you only have the odd harmonics, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, and you see it has a nice. So that's the harmonics story. I hope this helps a little bit in general about harmonics. I'm looking now in the chat room if it would be. Okay. Yeah, so I hope that helps a little bit about the, and that's an interesting thing. Essentially, you see, if you pick here in the Predator 3, where you can create your own user wave, the preset waves, the sinus, you see, it's only the fundamental, the first harmonic, and nothing above it. Because the moment you use harmonics, you create a sound color. So essentially, a sinus wave doesn't have a sound color, it's pure the frequency you play. So if I play an A4, you hear an A4. And now I created a sound color. Thomas, yeah, please, because it seems that you really should read the front page on our homepage. Go to the front page, click on the image for Blue 2. There we tell what you need to do for the Blue 3. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, but that's the problem. People don't read the newsletter or don't look at the news which we have on the homepage. And if you would read that, then you would see that you are entitled for free upgrade. And sometimes people, did not use the newsletter, but then you can watch on the homepage what the news is. That we release Explore 8 and Blue 3. And if you are entitled for a free upgrade, we tell you what you need to do. So if you purchase online, we send the free upgrade automatically by email. So then check your spam box. And if you did buy at a reseller, send in an email and attach the receipt, and then you can claim your free upgrade. Okay, so that's about Predator 3 and waveforms. And you see that in Blade 2, they are a little bit crossing in terms how things work. And of course, Blade 2 is a very different beast. It does very different other things. Well, we had some nice live stream, I think a few weeks ago, about Blade 2 a little bit. I call it a little bit trial and error synth. So you can do a lot of things consciously, but sometimes you hit one dial and suddenly you have a very nice and great sound. So it's a... yeah, very different. That's the cool thing about our product line. Everything is different. So Blade 2 compared to Predator 2, 3, to Blue 3, all three of them are different beasts. And of course, there are some things which are a little bit equal. So, I mean, the quality of the FX and that kind of stuff, the filter types sometimes are very equal. But still, you do different things with these type of synthesizers. So let's go back to Blue 3. So today we had this update. And so we fixed some issues we had. I'm not sure if we have still some other presets which I'd like to show you, but I think we... Oh yeah, that's digital facts. Yeah, that's a bug in VST3. We are solving that one. It should not happen with Blue 3 because there we should have it okay. So it's the rescaling thing of Windows that makes that you then have the VST plugin, but there's a very big frame around it. And that happened with VST3 version. So with Blue 3, you should not have that. But some of the older products we still need to update are having this issue. So I would suggest to use the VST2 version. Essentially, in terms of performance, you will not notice any difference. So that would my advice. And which product is that? Maybe, I think, maybe one of the, a bit, because it's a VST3 bug we had, and it's only appearing in some programs, not all. Studio One, I've from my head, in Fruity Loops. Yeah. So it's a scaling thing, a kind of scaling bug. But it can be annoying, so I would suggest then pick then, or if in the noise you take the VST2 version. In terms of CPU, yeah, BIT. We need to upgrade that one, the VST3 version, to avoid this issue. So for now, keep the VST2. In terms of what do you say that again? The oh no, I lost the no, I lost track. Well, I wasn't telling you. Oh yeah, in terms of CPU power, there was a review with Blue 3, and in terms of CPU power, it ranks very, very friendly, and that's all credit to John Iris, which is an amazing programmer. So, we don't compromise in audio quality, and it's yeah, it's from that perspective, it's top notch. So let's play some of the new ones. I'm not sure if this one here. What is the introduction bank, of course. We had that one already. Jamal is creating also some new presets. Blue 3, the same problem? Oh, that's weird. Because we use a newer VST3 thing. Yeah, it seems to be a problem in the VST3 software we are using. We are using Juice for it. And it's the rescaling issue. Well, I'll write it down. Still need to look into that. Okay. There's another question. Studio sound, BB, I'm quite playing audio since now for a while. Quad, yeah, that's a very different machine from terms of sounds. Quad uses phase distortion. Essentially, Quad is a little bit taken away from the Blue thing, because essentially in Blue 3, even in Blue 1, you have also phase distortion. So if I go here and go to the default preset, I'm still in the introduction bank. Oh, I'm playing the wrong synth. So here we have shape is essentially none, but you can have phase distortion. And of course I need to go to the phase distortion. So the amount of phase distortion or wave shaping. That's also in Blue 3. So in terms of synthesis, on a saw, I'm not sure. I don't think that we can use this on a sample. We could give it a try. So let's take a sample. I don't think it will work, but yeah, we always... Yeah. Yeah, it makes it very distorted. Wave shaping, phase distortion. That's interesting, isn't it? So this is wave shaping. Okay, let's use that on a big sample. Only choir. Let's see how the choir. The sample totally gets messed up. And feedback also can be used. And you get all kind of bugs. Yeah, VST, there's a lot of talk about VST3. In terms of CPU power, believe me, it will make no difference with our plugins. They are so CPU optimized, you will not notice any problem. So even so, if your computer has a little bit of problem with the VST3, just use VST3. It should be not a problem. That was a wasp, yeah, indeed. Yeah, good that you mentioned it about the VST3 and this frame that it's still in there. I wrote it down. We need to look into that. Okay, so Blue 3 also has phase distortion. Yeah, FM synthesis combined together, everything. It's a very synthesis focused machine. So let me see where we still have maybe something interesting. No, I'm looking for... Parking singer. Yeah. A lot of effects. Yeah, and we mentioned we also, because yeah, Blue 3 really is tolerant paths and different sound, but it has also, so if you just very focused in Blue, very good basses also. And of course, the digital basses, we have new presets combining with the sampled percussion. So if you click on Blue 3, yeah, this is, by the way, then what you always can do if you play Blue 3. If you would now click, if you installed it a few days ago and you would then now click check for updates, then you will notice that there is a update. So this is the control menu. You also can tooltips, you can put it off, which pops up. We have the dial slider animation. You can put that off. It's maybe a strain on your graphic card, then you can put it off. Okay, maybe I'm looking here. Oh, in the clusters, I have some new ones. I think oh, is it not? I'm not sure. Oh, that's the new feature I want to show. Yeah, now you see if you use the ARP and the sequencer, then you see this little dot. So what we also did is once chord is used, then a little dot appears here. So that's a new feature. So we essentially, if you go to the introduction bang and you see, for instance, a let me see, a sequence, then you see it lines up there. Or the arpeggiator. You see the waves in arpeggiator. Here an ARP, yeah, and you see it lights up. And that we also did if chord is used. So then, because then you know, hey, chord is used, that's why you hear then a chord playing. Okay, I see tonal axis. Yes, tonal also made some sounds, and they are not yet in this version, but I can play them for you already. So if I go down, that will be here, number 16, tonal axis. I'm a part using the diamond string. One preset which I personally like is, which one was it again? I think this one. And he also used a sample, so that will be installed, and then it's this one. So then you see in the sample one is I Am Blue 3. This is the one, and you can audition this here. I think he used the recorder for. and combine with other things. Alex, okay. Yeah, the command you made first, I need to click yes to post it, because otherwise we get spam. Yeah, this was done using vocoder. Yeah, definitely you hear the additive vocoder sound inside of it. And so these will be in the future update. You see the XY is used. Arpeggiator. Yeah, the XY on the main screen, yeah, definitely. That's, of course, you see what happens. This one is using it, change it. Keeps on moving. Once we release Bluetooth, it has, of course, the XY only in this shape, this big one. But of course, the in this version, the XY is always visible, because even if it's not moving around, there's always something happening. So if I go to preset, 1 second. No, this one is also using modulation. No, I need to go to another one. So I simply go to synth sounds. Let's see if I... And then I can change here. And you see the XY is controlled here by the controlling the filter 1 and filter 2. So all the presets from Blue 2 and Blue 1, we converted this way, that also the older presets have something working in the XY. So it's the filter, and if it was FM, it changed the oscillator volume. So this is and originally a Blue 2 sound, which is very nice. This one, this is called Anna Blue 2 Wet, which is from Synth Sounds 02. This one here. So yeah, it's in the top. So what is more the classic? So, and this is FM essentially, with that FM piano. Mellow piano. Yeah, David's harp, that's also FM synthesis. Remind people, I think, only DX7. It's FM. It's FM harp. So you see here. Modulate by oscillator 2, that's the algorithm. And maybe you recall the last stream last week where I said I did not understand the myself again the algorithm and then the FM matrix. But what happened in the graphic design? The arrow were the wrong way around, so I had a totally Windows 95 blue screen in my head. I thought, so I totally forgot that. But here, now we fixed that in this version you see here. This is going out, so this is the volume from the outgoing oscillator, and these are the ones which are modulating it. So, so if I pull up this one, it's of course now on, then the oscillator 6 is modulating oscillator 1, but it doesn't go out, so no matter. But if I go here, let's see, oscillator 3, and I use that one. Now it modulates itself, it's a feedback. So essentially, these are the modulating oscillators, oscillator 1 to 6, and you can modulate essentially feedback to back, and this is the output. So it's that's why I was confused last week, simply because the designer put the arrows the wrong way. Oops. But this is a typically FM type of harp, and we made many variations with a harp. So that's the cool thing. Now you picture you have a DX7 and then you only have this sound. So okay, that's nice. But then you have Blue 3 and you can combine it with other stuff. Okay, let's see what the original was. So this is a variation, chime 1, chime 2. You can combine that with the other waveforms. There's a choir, that's a nice one. Different choir sound. And this is solo, which is also nice. And of course, we have this sampled Celtic harp, which is inside of it. So yeah, there's so much in this machine. C tones. So it's also fun for me to play around with it. Really ting. This glass sound. Yeah, there's so much possible with this machine. And yeah, it has many presets. So here, down here, yeah, you can scroll down. You will find these old introduction bank of Blue 2 is still here. Effects is on the very end of this whole long list of old banks. So Score MS-20 sound. Yeah, so much inside this one. Yeah, so, and you see it's a totally different beast again compared to the Predator 3. Okay, guys, that was another live stream. So if you have Blue 3, log in to the homepage, then you go to My Products, download the latest installer. And if you own the Explorer 8, it's the same story. Go to My Products, scroll down in the download page of Explorer 8 and download the single installer of Blue 3 and then run it on your system, and then you will have the latest bug fixes and some new presets as well. And of course, there will be more to follow. The one from Tonal Access will be in the next version, some new sound from Jamal and of course of myself. So thanks for watching, and enjoy creating music, and see you next week.